So one of the most common operations you'll be performing in your programs is to convert from one data type to the other. And you definitely need to do this because the console.readLine method, what it does is that whatever input it takes from the keyboard is going to be a string. So let's suppose that you wanted to create a program that's going to add two numbers. This would mean that your numbers, when you type them on the keyboard, whilst they might appear as numbers to you, to the VB compiler, they are actually strings. So you first need to take care of that. That is to say, you need to convert them from a string to an integer. Then you can then carry on with your addition. So let's actually go ahead and look at how you can go about that in VB. So let's create a module called program. Then inside of the module, by now you know the drill. We create the main method, which is going to take a string array as its parameter. Then let's go ahead and just prompt the user to type something onto the screen. So maybe we can say console.write, type in the first number, and maybe we can just put these arrows or these angled brackets, as it were, to create the illusion of some prompt icon. Then maybe what you can do is we can actually declare some variables that we are going to make use of. So maybe let's actually declare string num1, string num2. Then these are going to be strings. Or rather, maybe what you can just do is we can leave it like this. Actually, let me just go ahead and specify the type right here. Then I also need to have three variables of type integer. So maybe let's have let's just call it first. Let's call the second second. We have another variable called second, of type integer. Then actually we need three variables right here, so maybe let's have another one called sum. Then what we can do down here is we can copy this line, paste it right here. Then here we'll take console input, so read line. Then whatever we are going to read from this console input, we are going to store it inside of the first variable right there. So first is equal to console.readLine. Then we prompt the user for the second number. Then we store it inside of actually we're supposed to store it inside of the string because remember these are still strings. String num2. Then here it's going to be string num1. Right, then after which we need to now perform the typecasting. So we need to convert from string to integer. So what we can do then is we will take the first variable, which is of type integer. Then in order to convert from a string to an integer, we actually need to make use of the convert class, which comes built into Visual Basic. Then you see that we have several, we have all these methods available to us, so you can convert from one data type, maybe to from a boolean to a string, or from an integer to a string, and so forth and so on. So what we can do is we can just convert the string num1 to a 16-bit integer. Then we'll do the same thing for the second number. Then we'll convert string num2 to an integer. Then after which we can assign the value for sum. Actually, maybe what we can do, we can just save us a lot of typing by just console.readLine, write line rather, because now we want to output the answer. So console.writeLine, then we say the sum of then what was the first number? First, and then we put the second number, and second, then we put another ampersand here to concatenate. Is then in here what we can do now, we can say first, but now we are no longer using the sum variable, which is a bit unfair because we'd already declared it. So let's just make use of it right here. Second, right? So what I was actually going to do, I was just going to calculate the sum in here by just putting brackets and saying first plus second, but then I realized that I already declared this variable, so why not just use it since we already have it? But yeah, so lines 11 and lines 12, that's how you can convert from one data type to the other. In this particular case, we're converting this integer to a 32, rather a 16-bit integer, is it? And then we are storing that value inside of first. Then we're doing the same for this second variable string num2 and storing it inside of second. Then we're just finding the sum of the two numbers, then outputting the answer, as it were. So let's go ahead and run this, and just wait for the console window to pop up, and there it is. Wait for it to populate the input, the output. So let's go with 10 as the first number, then 15 as the second number. So the answer, or the sum of 10 and 15, is 25. So our program is working. We've successfully converted string input to an integer output rather. So yeah, I think that's just about it for this tutorial. That's how you can convert from one data type to the other, making use of the convert class that comes standard is a standard library inside of Visual Basic. So I guess I'll see you on the next one.